Last time, we left Savory Island with an amazing sunrise, got a little wet, and explored the amazing Pender Harbour. We decided we were done with the normal life, and set out to turn our lives into an adventure. This is our story: the good, the bad, and the crazy. Join us as we sail, explore, and share our mistakes along the way. Welcome to the Wayward life.
Where you going away to?
Despite the forecast, we had a perfectly calm night in Pender Harbour and woke up to a beautiful morning. We also, of course, spent the morning dodging more logs. So, we are on our way to Gabriola Island today, which is one day away from our final destination with the boat. It is absolutely gorgeous out, as you can see. The worst sailing weather imaginable because there's no wind, but it's still beautiful. And we'll be able to make lots of time this way. And keep a lookout for logs because there's still lots of logs. Pretty exciting to be so close to being done this excursion. This was super fun. Has been fun the whole time, but it's stressful when you have a deadline. So our plan is to drop the boat off in Mill Bay, and then we're going to jump on Marty and May's boat, who you've seen with us this whole time, and we're going to go with them back to Campbell River, and then from Campbell River we are going to head back to Logan's parents' place and then finish up house stuff, and then on February 1st we get possession of our new house in Port Alberni. We're going to live there for a month and then we're going to rent it out, and hopefully we have our boat life figured out a little bit better by then. So we're looking at a boat that's in Campbell River, and we'll start moving forward with the process of getting that boat surveyed and figured out before we buy it. And hopefully all that works out, and if not, we'll, I guess, continue the search for our next boat. But we've spent a few days on it, looking it over. We've been on it 3 times, I guess, now, looking it over. And it looks pretty good. We haven't really found anything that's like a red flag, so that's nice. Marty and May passing us. We've been bested by Marty and May. They're ahead of us with their slower boat, so. We were gonna try to sail today, which is why we have the mainsail up. But I don't think we're going to get enough wind. There's like a tiny breeze ahead of us, but it's like just a breath. It's not going to be enough. But you know, wishful thinking and all that. So we are motor sailing right now. We've got 2 sails out and we're going 6 knots. So not too bad. We're only at, what are we at? Like 1900 RPM. Woo! And we're still doing 6 knots, so that's pretty awesome. So we have our staysail and our mainsail up. We are motoring towards Gabriola Island, and we've got hours and hours left to cross the strait. But yeah, we're in the sunshine, and now we are motoring into the clouds, leaving the Sunshine Coast towards Vancouver Island, which does not have the same reputation. Still hand steering, and the boat has hydraulic steering, and it is not the easiest job. It's like you take your hand off the wheel for a second to look at something or grab something and you're off by like 10 degrees. So it's been an interesting experience learning this because we don't have much experience with steering this boat because, you know, we've only had it out 3 times before this last few days. So lots of learning going on too, but we're getting there. We're having fun. We're mostly warm.
We are kind of heading straight into the wind, so we're sort of motor sailing. But it's definitely helping push us along, even if it's not ideal. We're very close to being able to sail and shut the engine off, and we'll likely still be doing 6 knots. I really hope. Finally got our wind direction and we are sailing.
For the second day this trip, we're actually sailing. We are in probably about 10 knots of wind and we're doing 4.5 knots. So that's pretty sick. Doesn't tell us what our speed over ground is. We're a bit off course by like 25 degrees. But that's okay, we'll make up for that later once the wind dies. But it's so nice to have the motor off, even if it's just for like half an hour or whatever. No, we can't.
I think we're just our wind's just dropping off.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it is. We're losing it. We're losing it! What do you do? Well, we're finally getting that dead calm weather that was forecast. It's like 1 o'clock. Yeah, all the winds died. It's like almost like glass out here. It's supposed to be that way all day, but I'm not mad that it wasn't because it was nice to sail for that little bit. And now we just get to chill the rest of the way. We're like 2 hours away from our anchorage tonight, so that's cool. Should get there with lots of time. Now we can just relax for a little bit.
There's a world inside my head. I get lost in it from time to time. No one has a spare key, the only one is inside of me.
Back to being a powerboat.
It is so glassy calm out here.
And just like that, we're a powerboat again. Can we trade spots so I can go walk on deck
Yes.
and warm up? Thanks. The boat's even holding steady, it's so calm.
I don't really dare to escape. Fall out in and out of space, so I stay. Hey, oh here we go.
And then dodging more logs.
I don't really know what's on, 'cause I'm a restless soul. Oh here we go, it's overflow. I don't know where to go, yeah I'm a homeless soul.
But we were soon heading towards Gabriola Passage. So we're pretty close here to the Gabriola Passage. So we're gonna go through that, running about 2-ish knots. And then we're going to go to the end of Courcy Island and anchor up there for the night. We were thinking that we were gonna anchor at Valdez, but we're making such good time that we're just gonna keep going. So that's awesome, because then we will have, I think it's like 4 more miles that we're going today. So it's less than an hour of travel, but that means that we skip like the hardest part of our journey that we need to time the best. And we have more time tomorrow to get to our final destination, so that's pretty exciting. And it is so gorgeous out here. It's just insane how beautiful it is. Like, look at this. It's just awesome. It's just such a nice day, even though we can't sail. It's almost warm. It almost feels like springtime. Doesn't quite smell like springtime, but it almost feels like springtime. And Max, who's been laying in the cockpit this entire day, smelled us getting close to the islands, got so excited he came back out on deck and he was wagging his tail and like, I'm going to land, I'm going to land. But not quite. We're about an hour away from land still. But that's okay. He'll be fine waiting.
There's a war in me tonight.
You smell land, bud?
Stop it by escaping
You smell land? Yeah.
The Gabriola Passage is a narrow bit of water between Gabriola Island and Valdez Island. The current in this passage regularly runs higher than 7 knots, so timing our crossing was imperative. Even with only 2 knots running with us, the water was still turbulent and we were getting knocked around.
Oh, here we go. It's overflow. I don't really know what's on, 'cause I'm a restless soul. Oh, here we go. It's overflow. I don't know where to go.
And, of course, on the other side there were more logs to dodge.
I don't wanna fall back down. 'Cause I already touched the ground. Someone please hear me. Oh, here we go.
We arrived at Courcy with plenty of daylight left.
Hides in the cockpit till he thinks it's time to go. And then all of a sudden he has so much energy to walk around.
Max soon got his wish as we explored Courcy Island. Courcy Island was once the home of the Brother 12 cult. Brother 12, or Edward Arthur Wilson, was an English mystic who, in the 1920s, founded his spiritual community. His cult was located on Courcy Island, Valdez Island, and in Cedar, with members reportedly living in different locations based on how much Brother 12 liked them at the time.
Like this piece is not even attached, you can see it move.
It's a drum now.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Those who joined Brother 12 believed that they were joining a community based on peace and love and building a new world. But instead, they were quickly swindled out of their money, which Brother 12 hid around the island, and forced to do hard labor while being poorly treated. We walked to the location of Brother 12's old homestead, which is no longer standing. Instead of a homestead, the point now holds a treasure chest, presumably as a play on the fact that Brother 12 hid treasure all over the island.
So May brought a jar full of beach glass and then 2 anchors. So we wrote each of our boats' names and each couple on the anchor, and then that's gonna go in the pirate chest.
Our bounty was nothing compared to the gold hidden by Brother 12, but what do you do?
It says, if it's treasure you're after, then you've come to the right place. Please feel free to take a bit and leave a bit.
8,000 people fell for the promises of Brother 12 during the 1920s and 30s before he disappeared with their fortunes. Before going to dinner at Marty and May's, we found a couple of logs around our boat and decided to use the dinghy to push them away.
Oh, that's heavy. I guess this is why we don't want to hit them with our boat.
It.
Almost got stuck on it. Goodbye, log. Awesome. Bye-bye, log. So there's these logs all around our dinghy. And you can't see, but there's literally a ring of logs all the way around the boat there, and out here, and all the way over there. So it's a good thing we don't have to go anywhere tonight, because we wouldn't be.
Tune in next week to see us survive the ring of logs, lose our GPS signal in the fog, and finally arrive in Mill Bay. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and giving us those thumbs up. They really make a difference.